Coming to you direct from Silencer Shop Studios, home of the Glass Case of Emotion.
SilencerShop.com, the easiest way to buy silencers online, period.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
Is it real this time? We're really doing it this time? It's not wasn't a test? Yes? You got that look on your face.
Oh, are you asking me a real question?
You? Yeah, I was asking you. That was the real intro, right? Not a test?
Oh yeah, that was a real one.
Sometimes when we're in the studio here in the Glass Case of Emotion, I'm sitting here and I'm boxed in by 2 walls of glass and 2 walls of steel and padding and so forth. And Jared will be over there and he'll be testing the audio, and I can hear him testing the audio. And he'll start that music and sync everything, and I'll look up, and it's just a test.
This is not a test.
It's not a test. It's real today. Welcome to Tuesday, or at least Tuesday is when we're releasing this. You can listen to it anytime you want. That's the beauty of being an American or an Australian or a New Zealander. If you can speak English and understand the words coming out of my mouth, well, you can listen whenever you want. I don't care when you listen. Heck, you could be listening a year from now. Hello, people of the future. Or hello, people of the past. I don't know. Oh. Would I be speaking to the future or the past? I'm speaking to the future from the past. How's that sound? Did I just blow your mind?
My mind has been blown.
Blown. Like the, have you seen the billboard on Lorraine Cowan Road?
Which one?
It's for a new salon. It has a picture of a woman on it, a sultry-looking woman, and she's kind of looking sideways at you. And the words on the billboard say, "Blown by Olive Aziz." Yes, that is the entire billboard. It's a picture of a woman, and then there's large, bold, black letters that say "blown," and then underneath it says, "by Olive Aziz."
Huh.
So there you go.
Well, that's an attractive billboard.
You gotta wonder, you're like, the what?
Yeah. Who designed
Who
that?
sees these things and think, oh, that's great.
Well, it got your attention, though. Yeah, it worked because you just said the chick's name. So.
And it was Olive something, Olive, whatever, doesn't matter. But I thought that was interesting that they would use that terminology. There you go. Am I 13? No, but I notice things. Real quick, I hope you enjoyed Monday's episode. If you guys follow us on social media, you know that we went to a concert this weekend. And here's my recommendation to you. If you live on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi in the Harrison County, Jackson County area. It's Jackson County, right, Jared? Yeah. Ocean Springs in Jackson County.
Yeah.
And you see an upcoming event at a place called the Juke Joint, I would go ahead and pass.
Yes.
My recommendation for you is that you pass. It's a dump. Yes, it is a dump. And it's run very amateurishly. So there's a dump run by amateurs, or at least in my own humble opinion. My on the radio Yelp review is that there was garbage piled up in the middle of. Did that strike you, Jared, that they would pile up garbage in the middle of the public area, in the middle of the I guess they call that a patio area, or the patio pavilion area?
Oh yeah,
where guests and customers are seated. There's a great big pile of like boxes and garbage that they're going to burn eventually.
Yeah,
but
it was like right in the way, like in between you and the stage.
Yeah.
And the thing that got me was we actually, Dad paid for VIP tickets.
Oh yeah,
and
I got taken.
The VIP section was full of people that were not VIP.
Yeah,
did not pay for VIP tickets.
It could hold, the VIP section could hold maybe 20 people standing.
Yeah,
total. And
so how many? What did we have? Like 8 people?
Yeah, we had 8 people.
8 people with us, and so our VIP section was by the porta potties.
By the porta potties, where the pile of trash was.
That was nice.
Yeah. We'd never been there. The reason I went there is because I saw online that Saliva was going to be playing, and I double-checked it. I was like, really? They're going to be playing at this little place? Well, and I got it. And supposedly with the VIP thing, you're supposed to get VIP access, early access and entry, right? Express. You were supposed to get express entry into the place, which didn't happen. They just piled you up in a line. You were supposed to get wasn't like express line drinks or whatever, and which is no big deal for me, but none of that happened. None of the stuff that they advertised happened. They had the only thing they had was a little area cordoned off in front of the stage where front stage access. And now during the opening acts that no one ever heard of because, well, they didn't advertise the opening acts. That they just, it was a surprise. Surprise! There's a band here. Well, who are they? I don't know. Surprise! I guess if you're like the cousin of the owner, then you knew, right?
Yeah.
So they were checking people's wristbands in the beginning, like for the local cover bands. But then when the main act, Saliva, hit the stage, it was dark and they didn't have any security. So just anybody who wanted to pile in front of the stage could. So there you go. I feel like kind of a little bit like a sucker, like I was taken. But yeah. And then we go inside, and were you hip for this? You weren't there. Alex and I walked inside to get a beer, and she said, "Oh, they have Yuengling." And so I said, "Oh, I have Yuengling," and the lady says, "No bottles tonight, cans only."
Oh, that's nice.
And so she's got this big, like at least 100 count stack of 12-ounce bar cups, right, for tap beer. And I said, "Can you take the Yuengling and pour it into a cup?" "Oh, yeah, I could do that." There you go. So she pours it into a cup. And this is what the person who's working for tips, take note, if you're in the public service, if you're in the customer service world, and you're working for tips and gratuity, this is what the woman who is, I guess, ostensibly working for gratuity says to me. She says, "Well, I'll do it this one time, but if we get busy, I'm not doing it again." Yeah, I kind of like, "Oh, thanks, sweetie. Thanks for not having a plan." And so you decide to have a show, and you're like, "Oh, no bottles tonight." Do you normally sell them? Well, yeah, but none tonight. So we're expecting like dirty, stupid, moronic people to come to your show? Is that what you're doing? So long story short, and you're like, ooh. They're like, how's the band? How was the band? Disappointing. Jared, this is going to be my, I guess, my evaluation of the current lineup of Saliva. They are a shell, at least what I saw Sunday night. They're a shell of what they once were. The energy, the click, click, boom, your disease, ladies and gentlemen, that energy is not there. The audio was crap. The singer's microphone, you couldn't hear half the time. He would be in the middle of a song and his mic would fade out, and then it would come back mysteriously and then fade out again and come back. They filled the middle. Jared, did you notice they filled the middle of the set with cover music? What is going with a what do I want to see? A montage. They kind of
That's like the new thing. Apparently.
The new thing is they played 2 or 3 of their own songs, and then they launch into this montage where they started with "In the Air Tonight," and then they went into like one chorus of Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd, and then into something else, and then into something else, and then they played 2 AC/DC songs, and they're like, woo, AC/DC, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What the farfignugan? If you're a band that has 6, 7, 8 albums, do you not have enough in your own catalog to fill? And they came on stage. They're supposed to come on about 9. They got on about 10 after 9 or so, and then they finished about right before 10. So not quite an hour show. But dude, seriously, if you've got 6, 7, 8 albums out, do you not have enough material to fill a 60-minute set that you have to like do these like this weird montage cover? So it's all, you know what it's like, Jared? It's like they were just killing time. I don't know. Maybe I'm being overly critical, but I will fully admit that I have been to so many good shows that when I encounter a show that is subpar, it strikes me. You know, I don't know. So that was that. And it was so hot. It was all outside, and it was so hot that poor Zachary, the shipping ogre, he was just soaked. His shirt was soaked.
Yeah, I was soaked too.
I reached in my front pocket to pull out cash because I had bought stuff, and I just took the change, and I pulled it out, and the money was moist. Yes.
Yummy.
But enough about that. Let's talk about, well, let's thank our friends at Duracoat, because if it wasn't for Duracoat, we'd have to walk around with ugly guns. And life's too short to walk around with an ugly gun, is it not? Yes, it is. You know it is. Admit it. It's true. So you're just like, well, Paul, how can I get Duracoat products? Well, you can go to LauerWeaponry.com, or you can jump over to your favorite provider, such as Brownells. Such as the Iraq. And no, but seriously, if you go to Brownells.com, you can get products from Duracoat, and you can get pretty much anything you want to put in, on, or under your gun. It's just that easy. All right. I think that's all the sponsors I'm going to thank right now, Jared. Let's go ahead and let me sip my coffee and give Alex a chance to talk.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a free training video series called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. We want you to have access to this life-saving information. Get instant access now at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of those questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
Well, I feel like I have to give you guys this story. I have to report on it. I have to discuss it, because with all that's going on in the world right now, the conventions and so forth, they're not covering this. The big media, they're just kind of like, yeah, we reported it on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. And so there we go. We covered it, so we don't need to talk about it again. Or we put it on the second page. But you guys remember the whole Baltimore riots and the mayor of Baltimore who told the police to give the looters and the thugs, to give them room to destroy, and then came out the very next day after, a dozen cameras recorded her saying room to destroy. Then the next day came out and said, I never said that. Yeah, that's Baltimore, Maryland. So they essentially... in Baltimore, they decided they were going to convict the 6 police officers. They're going to convict them in the court of public opinion. They were going to be guilty before the facts were known, which is what we do in America today. We just gin up the mob. We get the mob all excited. That's essentially the job of MSNBC and CNN and the New York Times and so on and so forth, is to feed little snippets and talking points to the mob to get the mob all ginned up. And then, well, it doesn't matter what the facts are, like CNN. It doesn't matter that the officer involved in the Michael Brown case was acquitted on all charges. That doesn't matter. A year later, we're going to say, on the anniversary of the year that a black teen, Michael Brown, was shot dead by a white police officer. An unarmed black teen was shot by a white police officer. Yeah, but he was acquitted of all charges after a jury of his peers. Oh, what? What? No. So here's the story from WashingtonTimes.com. Prosecutors of officers accused in Freddie Gray death case pressure for disbarment. Let's go ahead and dive in a little deeper. Legal analysts ripped Baltimore prosecutors Monday over their handling of the Freddie Gray case, saying the prosecution should drop all charges against the 3 remaining officers. Oh, in case you didn't know it, they haven't gotten a conviction yet, have they, Jared? Let's dive in a little further. Or risk more embarrassment in the courtroom. What's more, John Banzef, an activist law professor of George Washington University, said he would file a complaint Tuesday with the Maryland Attorney Grievance Commission calling for the disbarment of the lead prosecutors in the trial of 6 police officers accused of wrongdoing in the 2015 arrest and death of the 25-year-old black man. The 25-year-old multiple arrest, multiple conviction drug dealer in Baltimore. The pointed criticism came Monday after Lieutenant Brian Rice was acquitted of all charges. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. America, hey, world, have you seen that as a number 1 top headline? Lieutenant in Freddie Gray case, acquitted of all charges? Jared, did you see that? Was that the top of your Twitter newsfeed?
Nope.
No, it wasn't. And why do you suppose that is? Oh, that doesn't fit the narrative. That doesn't fit the narrative that all police officers in America are racist hate mongers and we need to eliminate all the local police departments and replace them with the federal police. Remember when the Attorney General and at the U.S. Justice Department, there's a joke, decided they were going to do a pattern and practice investigation of all municipal departments because they're just all racist. Well, he had his day in court, and they found him not acquitted, not guilty, in the role of Gray's arrest and death. The lieutenant was the highest ranking of the accused officers, and his full acquittal was the 3rd consecutive loss for the prosecutors. Another trial ended in a hung jury in December, and a retrial has been scheduled. But legal analysts said any subsequent trials should be canceled. They noted the prosecutor's failure to convict the most senior officer in the Gray arrest and the driver of the police van in which the Gray's neck was broken. It is quite clear the prosecution should not continue on, said Barry Slotnick, a prominent defense lawyer who has followed the trials of the Freddie Gray case. All right, so there you go. But you're not being told that, are you? Oh, no.
Did you see that video that I just dropped in there of the dude the CNN reporter comes up and is trying to get a story on this black guy at a Trump supporting rally? Oh,
yeah, the race baiters.
Yeah, did you hear the...
I did not get a chance to hear that audio. Okay, well, have you listened to it?
It kind of goes in with why is this stuff not showing up in my news feed?
So, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and play it.
Sick of this race and divide. It's always divide and conquer. It's a scam. And I know it's not going to get on CNN. Lucky enough, but I've been out here making sure that I express my support for Mr. Donald J. Trump. And I'm fighting back against people like Black Lives Matter, which CNN supports, along with the Hillary Clinton Foundation and the Bill Clinton Foundation, the traitors to this country.
What do you think about the fact that...
What do you think about the fact that white supremacists support Trump?
It doesn't matter. That's the right to free speech. I'm sick of this race and divide, and CNN is perfect at doing that. It's always divide and conquer. People have the right to choose whatever they want. What the hell does that got to do with Donald Trump? He's not a racist. I'm sick of that. It's a scam, and I know it's not going to get on CNN. We're sick of you media.
What do you think about what he just said to you? That's maybe not a fair question to ask if you're just trying to associate Trump with racism.
He was never called racist before he started running against the Democratic Party.
I mean, is that a fair question to ask? Are you saying that Trump is racist because some racist guy supports him?
I'm just here doing my job.
Oh, but that was your question.
That's a good question, man.
Yeah.
At least answer it.
Don't backtrack him now.
Yes, because, Trump is not a racist. And again, it's the media who gives us those perceptions. You see, because the Democratic Party, they always control the black people. It's a plantation. As long as they're on the mammary gland of America, sucking, getting their food stamps, getting their welfare, and they're not dreaming for the stars. They're not, and society is killing that dream. They're killing that dream by this globalism. Hell with globalism. Because globalism takes away America's wealth.
Do Black Panthers support Obama, sir? CNN. Do Black Panthers support Obama?
Thanks a lot for talking.
You're welcome.
It's really good.
And so because white supremacists support Trump and the Black Panthers support Obama, isn't that like the same thing?
No, they don't report that. Oh, wow. Yeah, and you won't hear that. They'll never show that. They will never show that on CNN. Now, if you got, on the opposite side, if you got somebody, for instance, if they had a Caucasian white male come out and voice their angst or anger or whatever against Trump, they play that all day long. They play it. But we have an adult black man who's saying that he doesn't care whether or not a white supremacist supports Trump. And he pointed it out. He goes, nobody called Trump a racist until he started running for office.
Yeah.
Everybody in the United States of America has known who Donald Trump is since the 80s, easily. And all of a sudden, when he started running against the Democrat power establishment, he became a racist. Isn't that crazy how that works out? It's funny. So we just thought we'd give you a couple of little tidbits that there's no way you're going to see in your newsfeed because they don't support the narrative. They don't support the narrative. And all week long, we're actually going to be pointing out places where the mainstream media is deliberately not doing their job, or what's even worse is deliberately hiding the fact. Let's thank our friends at SWAT Fuel. Why? Because SWAT Fuel helps you get stronger bodies and sharper minds, and I use it, Jared uses it, and we support it, and they support us. So thank you to SWAT Fuel. And we're kind of excited. I talked to Dr. Dan last week, and SWAT Fuel has a fitness app that they are working on, that they're beta testing right now. And this thing, Jared, you got a look at the beta, didn't you? The SWAT Fuel beta app that's being tested.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be done with it, but it's going to be awesome.
But it's going to be all encompassing.
Yeah, we'll report more on it when we get more information.
Exactly. So that's coming up. And what can you do right now? Well, go to SWATfuelstore.com and use the promo code SOTG2015. Save yourself some money. Frog Lube. It's green. It's minty fresh. It's a bio-based firearms lubricant. It was developed at the request of the United States Army. That's right. Frog Lube at froglube.com, or you can get it at Brownells. Crossbreed Holsters, the makers of the Super Tuck Deluxe, also known as the Bruce Jenner Commemorative. Now, we had a little interesting, Facebook conversation. I posted a picture of our personal Super Tuck Deluxe. I've got a Bruce Jenner Commemorative that's designed for a G-Lock, a G17/G19, and it has a stamp on it. It has the Student of the Gun official stamp, right? Well, those aren't public. That's something that they did for us. Well, one of our fans said, well, can I get that on my holster? And I said, I don't know. You should contact. If you really want that, it's kind of like, all right, we did a Duracoat Student of the Gun gun tat, right? Student of the Gun gun tattoo from Duracoat. And you know how that happened? It happened because you guys out there in the Student of the Gun audience contacted Duracoat directly and said, will you make this available to us? And they said, okay, yes. And here's what I'm going to tell you guys. If you guys want a crossbreed holster that has the official Student of the Gun stamp on it, then what you need to do is because it doesn't do any good for me. I mean, I could do it. I could call them and say, hey, you guys should do this. But I'm not the one who's going to be ordering holsters from them. It's you. It's you folks. It means a lot more coming from you, the individual. So if that's something you guys want, if you don't want it, great, I don't care. But if it's something you do want, contact Crossbreed Holsters directly and say, can we get the option of having the official Student of the Gun logo on our holsters? And let me know how that works out. So, and how do you get a hold of them? Well, you can go to crossbreedholsters.com. Guess what? I'm excited. Are you excited, Jared? Yes.
I am very excited. Question mark? Who put that question mark on the teleprompter?
No, we've got a Summer of Love, special Summer of Love update theme for you guys.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, imagine how the world would be so very fun, so happy together.
I got you, didn't I? Did we get you? We get you? Oh, man. The Summer of Love continues as the religion of peace and brotherhood is just spreading their message all over planet Earth. Got a story here for you guys, and it comes to us from the Idaho State Journal.com. And the dateline on this story is July 21st, 2016. Student in jail for alleged aggravated assault on an ISU female freshman. And you're like, well, okay. How does that work? Well, it works like this. Oh, my Lord, Jared, I just opened the thing. Here we go. And the Idaho State Journal wanted me to take a survey before they let me read the story. An Idaho State University student has been arrested for a brutal aggravated assault in which he allegedly tried to force himself on a young woman and threatened to stab her with scissors. Now, you might be saying, well, I mean, this is not nice, but why is it in the Religion of Peace update? Ahmad Hamoud Al-Dawrish, 24, of Saudi Arabia, was arrested by police around 6 a.m. Thursday on Sam Dixon Drive on the ISU campus. The victim is a female ISU student. Authorities said that Al-Dawrish, Dr. Muhammad Jihad, was essentially trying to force himself on the young woman when she resisted. And he threatened to stab her with scissors. But I'm guessing that you probably don't know about this out there in the hinterlands. You probably weren't told. This probably did not make your local news feed because, well, why would it? No big deal. What is going on in Idaho? Hey, Idaho, what the farfignugan is going on in your state? Well, I can tell you what's going on in your state. Apparently, the governor and your congressmen and senators don't have the chutzpah to tell the federal government to knock it off because they're dumping these monsters, these third world monsters are being dumped into Idaho cities. Remember let's see, we got a story from Breitbart.com here. Idaho refugee rape. Obama justice official threatens Americans who criticize migrant programs. You remember this? Yeah, remember this? And here we go. This is a story from June 26, in case you weren't aware. Comrade Barry's top legal appointee in Idaho is threatening to prosecute Americans who criticize the federal immigration policy, which enabled Sudanese. Remember this? They said the original report said Syrian immigrants, and the left wing, they're like, see, you right wingers, you're full of propaganda. That's not true. I checked it on Snoops, and they're not. No, they weren't Syrians. They were Sudanese and Iraqi Muslims. Aw. So, because they weren't Syrians, we're supposed to ignore the fact that 3 Islamic children who were dumped on Twin Falls, Idaho, without the consent of the city, with a whole bunch of other monsters from the third world. A 14-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 7-year-old boys from Sudan and Iraq, all Muslims, raped a 5-year-old girl. Oh, they didn't rape her. They stripped her naked, touched her, urinated on her, and threatened to stab her with knives. Yeah, that's all. That's all. No big deal there. No big deal there. When you have a society that teaches its little boys that it's okay to threaten women with knives and to rape them, and you're like, oh, they don't teach that at all. That's not what the religion of peace and brotherhood's about. They don't treat women like, oh, yeah, that's right, they do. They do treat women like pieces of property. I forgot. Never mind. Never mind. And finally, last but certainly not least, we had yet one more attack in Germany. That's 3 in a week. 3 in a week. The summer of love continues in the European Union, where they're so weak and socialistic that they just imported thousands and thousands of monsters into their continent, into their weak European Union. And what do we get for that? Well, here we go. A Syrian refugee, age 21, hacks a pregnant woman to death with a machete and injures 2 others before a hero in a BMW driver runs him over. Yeah. Story was dated 24 July 2016. A Syrian refugee wielding a machete killed a pregnant woman and injured a man and another woman in Germany before being arrested by police after he was run over by a man driving a BMW. The attack happened in the southwestern city of Reutlingen near the Donner kebab stand. Okay. And a bus station. German media has reported that the motive of the attack is unclear. And the 45-year-old Polish victim worked at the snack bar. Yep. So the motive's unclear. We don't know. I mean, let's not rush to judge. Should we rush to judge, Jared? No. We want to make sure that we don't rush to judge, because that would be wrong. Matter of fact, if you call them out, the U.S. Justice Department right now might be filing charges against me for bringing this up. I hope that's not true, but it might be true. All right, folks, I know all this crazy, insane nonsense is kind of, it's getting you down. It's kind of getting me down, too. But we've got a solution for that, and it's called Quiet Time, and it's brought to you by SilencerShop.com.
As kids, we learned growing up, if you were going to hunt Wabbit,
you had to be very, very quiet.
At SilencerShop.com, that's what we do. We make guns very quiet with state-of-the-art suppressor technology for every caliber you've got in your safe. From .22s up to the big boys. Minimal noise, less recoil, higher velocity, better accuracy. Do you honestly need another reason to get a silencer?
Oh, ask we Wabbit.
Get the facts and get suppressed at SilencerShop.com. Making the world a quieter place.
And as this is Student of the Gun, and we are coming to you from Student of the Gun University, we like to do things that you're not going to get everywhere else. Yeah, we will report the news, and we will report our feelings about the news, but we always want to give you something positive. Now, Jared, was this all the way back at the beginning of June, was it not, Jared? You challenged everybody to a summer reading challenge. You challenged our listeners. Well, we have readers, too. And my discussion for you today, or the topic today, is how is your summer reading challenge going? Jared, how's your summer reading challenge going?
It's going all right. I've met the 1 book per month quota so far, so.
Very good. What did you just finish?
I'm reading right now. I'm reading Total Resistance, and I think the book I finished before that was, I just reread Good to Great. Mm-hmm. And then I'm about halfway through your new book that's coming out. So,
the manual?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we like to take some quiet time. You have to listen, ladies and gentlemen. I know that every morning you wake up and you look at your Facebook feed or your Twitter feed or whatever, you open your phone and there's bad news. There just is. And if you spend too much time thinking about it without doing other things, it'll just depress you, drive you nuts, or you'll be tempted to just ignore it all. We can't do that. We cannot ignore it. We can't let it go. It's not going to go away by ignoring it. Let's face it. This is the really real world here, and we have to be adults. But at the same time, you don't want to get consumed by it, because if you become consumed by it, well, you're going to become angry and bitter, and nobody's going to want to be around you. So every once in a while, you need to take some time for you. And one of the, most important things you can do in the summer reading challenge is take your phone. I know this is going to, listen to me. Take your phone, go stick it on the charger, then get your book, go away from your phone, and read. Yes, do that. I know it sounds crazy. You're like, but if I'm not by my phone, I might not survive. You don't need to. Your phone is not a life support system. Your phone will be okay without you for an hour. I promise. And I would even challenge you to come up with a spot. Come up with your own spot. People used to do this. People used to have studies. Adult men used to buy homes and they would set up a study with a high back chair and a bookcase and so forth, and they would actually go in there and sit and quietly read. I don't, Jared, wasn't that a meme or something that somebody shared with us? They said we need less man caves and more studies.
Yeah.
We need less electronic distraction, and we need more introspection. I think that's what we need as a nation. So the challenge to you is not only to read one book every month, this month, June, July, and August, and if you're falling behind, catch up. But maybe come up with a space where you can sit, your place, to sit quietly. And I don't care what you read. I mean, we have all kinds of recommended reading here, but I don't care what you read, whatever you're into. Take your phone and all the distractions of the daily life and put them away. This is supposed to be your time. This is supposed to be your recharge, and use your brain. Read left to right, top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right, that's it for Tuesday's edition of Student of the Gun Radio. Thank you once again for joining us. We truly appreciate it. Now, tomorrow, we're going to talk about, do gun makers get it yet? Do they? Have the gun manufacturers of America gotten the memo? Or are we just doomed like the clinically insane person to just keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result? I don't know. Let's talk about it tomorrow. But remember, you're a beginner once, and you should indeed be. Well, you should be a student for life.